All right, welcome to another episode of Soto Desperado Play Skyrim. We're going to continue with our character named Magica, trying to get her enchanting up, trying to get... Well, I already got the light armor as trained up as possible. I actually have to start making some light armor. But until I could get my enchanting up, there's no purpose in making light armor. So we're working on that. Here's Jack Morgan. He's one of my favorites, but right now you have to be able to see what he's talking about. It's a visual thing. You guys can go check out Jack on your own. This lady, her name's Miss Pickens, Ashley Pickens. Definitely going to pick her because that was only 9 hours ago she gave that report there. If you only watch this one video, make it this one. Wisdom. And what's it called? We're fucked. 3 minutes ago. Well, it says 5 days ago. I don't know. I've never seen that guy. His name's Wisdom. Modern men are not okay. Here's another one. Jesus Christ. It's such a trend now. She's one of my favorites. She's the cutest thing in the world, but she's too mousy. She's like a mousy person. She's a mousy woman. Anyway. All right, so let's do this one. Treat Yourself Like a Business from Linval Williams. One of my favorite dudes. And I think I heard this before. No, I didn't. I didn't thumbs up it. So I think I'm behind on this stuff. Let's see. I'm subscribed, but I didn't have it to all. Get all notifications. That's what's going on. Because if you have it this way, you don't get them personalized. So get all notifications. There we go.
People talk about life hacks. I think one of the best things we can do is try to treat ourselves as if we were a successful business. Successful businesses have services, they have products. They provide some type of value. And the providing value part is not specifically what I want to emphasize. It's the process of being able to be successful as a business that provides value, that can sell something that is worth value. What I mean is, when businesses start out, they have an idea, they have a plan. It's like Walmart started in the house of the family. They were not always a big corporation that had locations every 2 miles in every city, town, state across the United States of America. It started in the house. And through trial and error, they realized what worked and didn't work. And when they removed what didn't work, that allowed them to excel and to grow exponentially because they stuck to what worked. They removed what didn't work, so that didn't hold them back. You know, the old saying, one rotten apple spoils the bunch. If we did the same thing within our lives, let's say you're an alcoholic, or you smoke weed, or you do whatever you do that holds you back. If you can just remove that, that will put you in a position to where you can gain more within yourself over the long haul. You're more valuable because you remove something that devalues you. It takes away from your value. So if you can write down on a piece of paper things that hold you back, things that you don't want to do, or habits you don't want to continue to indulge in, and take your time to remove those habits. Take your time to remove the behaviors that you have that always yields results that you don't want within your life. That's like treating yourself as a business. What's valuable that you can put out into the world? If something you are doing, or a habit that you have, or things that you have in your possession that devalues you as a person, if you remove that, it's the same thing as a business removing something that does not help them grow. So you being a person treating yourself as a business, you remove, let's say, the product that is holding your business back, holding you back, and you keep the product, the habits, the possessions that yields value for you just as a business, and you bring that to the marketplace, life, and through that you get returns, because whatever that is so significant, is so valuable. People want to participate. People want to buy that product. People want to be in your presence. People want to give you opportunities. People want to have conversations. People want to do business with you. People want to be your friend. They want to spend time with you. They want to invest in you, because whatever you have to offer is valuable. They're not buying the products that hold you back. They're buying you and everything that you have that has put you in a position to be valuable. You can be a mentor. You can be a great friend. You can be someone who can do tasks that someone else can't. And because people can see how you allocate your time and you put emphasis on your craft, and your craft speaks value, they want to utilize you to do certain things that they can't do, while they focus on things that they can. And this is something where it's not really a life hack, but it's a mentality, it's a process that we all can benefit from. One of my high school teachers told us, if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough, because life is going to always throw obstacles. It's continuous. It's never ending. It's everlasting. So long as you are alive, somewhere in there, life is going to throw you a curveball. You have to be able to hit that curve. So through process of elimination, removing things that don't hold value, you have a stronger resistance to these obstacles. It allows you to assess the situation and respond after doing your due diligence, after doing your research, after analyzing what can work and what may not work. You can move forward through these obstacles and you can grow. It's almost the same mindset. It's almost the same approach as a business. We have to put something out there, test the water, and whatever we get in response, the results we get from whatever we put out there, we utilize those results to then build a better product. You as a person, you utilize the experiences and what works and doesn't work to build a better you, treating yourself like a business. Oftentimes, people don't want what's on sale. They want quality. You as a person, you want to bring value. You want to bring the best quality to someone or to a situation that will benefit you and the situation, you and the person, you and the business. You are a business yourself. Just as if you go to a company that has something you want to purchase. You don't want the fake product, you want the legit product. You don't want the $50 pair of Jordans because more than likely they're going to be fake. You would rather spend $200 on the Jordans. I'm not saying that, that's of benefit, but through buying shoes, people want the quality. They want the legit shoe. They don't want the imitation. They don't want the shoe that's made with cheap quality, but it looks exactly like the shoe that's made with the best quality. So it's the same thing. We don't want the tough part of the steak. We want the tender part of the steak, the filet mignon. We don't want the beef chuck. We want the filet mignon. We want to spend our resources on quality. People want to invest their time and resources in quality. People want to be around people who have high qualities. Their value matches whatever it is that the person seeks in the real world, right? So it's the same as treating yourself as a business. You don't have to own a business first. You can treat yourself as a business first. And through you becoming a better person, now if you want to start a business, you are more than qualified or capable of hiring people, delegate tasks to other people, because you know who you are as a leader. You know what you're capable of and what you're not. You know how to find people that are of value to be able to take on these tasks, to be able to complete certain tasks, to now ignite the growth of the business, and they grow with the business. And of course, through their results, through their skill set, you are able to give them resources. You are able to pay them so they can continue to do their great work. They can continue to grow within their skill set, work on their craft. And as they grow, you grow, the business grow. But you all individually as a business yourself, you grow exponentially. And that allows you to allocate those skill sets, those values towards a business, which you may have started or you may even work for, but you delegate tasks. They delegate their time and they allocate their skill sets to be able to grow. So in the beginning, it's not necessarily a life hack, but it's a life approach. Treat yourself as a business. When you're going through trial and error, whatever is not working, try to remove it like it's a bad product. Look at it like it's rotting on the shelves. You don't want anybody to see this, let alone purchase this and then go home and consume this and they get sick. You don't want this to be in your store at all. Get rid of it. Try to get credit for it. You see what I mean? You had it there, it didn't work out. Your credit, as far as a perspective of life, is you gained something, you learned something. Now moving forward, you make sure that this particular product with that expiration date or that lifespan is never on your shelves to be sold or for someone to consume when they walk into or enter your store. It's the same thing. Allocate yourself like a business. Treat yourself like a business. And most businesses, especially the big corporations, they spent time going through these processes, these trial and errors, before they put themselves in a position to where people perceive it as perfect. That's why they're billion-dollar companies, soon to be trillion-dollar companies, and they continue to grow. It's always going to be some type of adversity, but that's life. If you go the growth path like a business plan, you can always overcome the adversity, the obstacles. But if you're going to be stupid, you have to be tough. But if you're intelligent and you still have the toughness, the world is yours. Master yourself and the world is yours for the taking. But you have to treat yourself like a business.
Yeah, wise words. You do have to treat yourself like a business. You're there for the transaction. You're there to make a profit. You're there to do a transaction because somebody else has something you need, a good or a service, and they have something that they want from you, which would be resources. Those green Vatican permission slips, that fiat currency. They want to get that so they can make profit. A business is there to make profit. That's what he's saying. You have to treat yourself like a business, and your focus is going to be making profit, making money. It's not going to be other stuff. The Moors know all about this, and the Moors are probably the ones that trained him, but I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Some people have a natural knack for business. I never did. Anyway, that one is Treat Yourself Like a Business by Lynn Val Williams. Cool cat. Cool cat. Now, Ashley Pickens. Now, this was like 9 hours ago out of Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee. Real estate market downturn. Evictions and foreclosures on the rise. 6 million renters at risk. That's what I'm saying. So far, my rent hasn't changed here in Texas. So far. But that's why I kept my jackery. And that's why I got to, make sure I get this stuff taken care of. Anyway. Let's do that.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ashley Pickens here in Memphis, Tennessee, also known as your auction mama, right? I've been in real estate since 2006, as a real estate agent, also as a real estate broker. But most of you know me because I'm your auction mama. I'm at the courthouse auctioning off foreclosures for the attorneys and the banks. I'm the one that says going once, going twice, sold. That's me. I don't talk super fast, for the record. So if this is your first time here, welcome. We are jumping into HUD's latest report. So you know I kind of come on here every month and discuss when HUD puts out their housing insecurities survey, right? It's just a survey. These numbers are not exact. If you ask me, you know the rule. You got to multiply by 2, okay? So when you hear the numbers, multiply by 2. This is just a housing survey. They've never asked me. Comment below if they've asked you. Comment below if they have not asked you. So I don't know who they're asking, but this is what they're saying. Housing insecurity. Okay, so let's catch up to where we are. Last month, the title of the article said, housing insecurity appears to be stabilizing for renters. Okay, so last month we had 11% or 5.1 million renter households behind on rental payments. Okay, we also had, now keep in mind, this is last month, this is not this month. So we also had, let's talk about homeowners behind on their mortgage. Approximately 5.3% or 4.35 million homeowner households were behind on their mortgage payments in May, up from 4.9% or 4.08 million. An estimated 1.05 million homeowners feared foreclosure was imminent in the next 2 months. Okay, so that was like the last month. It's always a lag. So, excuse me. Let's talk about this latest report that just came out a couple of days. This is for June. Okay, keep in mind it's always a lag. So, June's numbers. The title of this article says, housing insecurity appears to have increased for renters. The month before it said it stabilized. Now it is increased. So let's see what's going on with the renters and then the homeowners. The survey shows that approximately 13.1% or 6 million renter households were behind on their rental payments in June. Y'all, 6 million renters, and you know, like I said, you probably got to multiply by 2. What are these investors doing? Like, what are these landlords doing if these people aren't paying their rent? You know what I mean? That's like a domino effect when it deals with like renters, right? Because they're paying to somebody else. And I know a lot of people think all the landlords and all the investors are these big hedge funds, when in reality, most investors are just like single family individuals who own like 5 to 7 rental properties. It's not hedge funds. So if you've got some rental property that's not being rented or the renter's not paying, you know, it's a lot of investors in trouble. And I can say from what I've seen personally, a lot of investors are in foreclosure. I see it a lot in Georgia. I told y'all I'm your auction mama. Like, I'm seeing these notices, these notice of sale, notice of default, and it's a lot of investors. I'm seeing a lot in Georgia. Shout out to Georgia, Texas. Y'all had your big auction this week. First Tuesday of the month is when Georgia and Texas have their big auctions, right? And a lot of them have been investors. And I'm seeing like properties that have been bought and they have not completed the work on it, like in the process of renovation and then going into foreclosure and up for auction. Y'all, it's going to be a mess. Let's just get through the election, you guys. Get through the election. And then we're going to see this house of cards like falling down like London bridges. Okay, so let's get back to the article. Okay, so 6 million renter households were behind on their rental payments in June. An estimated 4.8% or 2.2 million renter households feared eviction was imminent in the next 2 months. I mean, if like 6 million renters are behind on their rent, you would think 6 million renters feared eviction. I don't know, but you know, that's just me. Let's talk about homeowners. Approximately 5.17% or 4.26 million homeowner households were behind on their mortgage payments in June. It says it's down slightly from 5.2 or 4.3. So it was 4.3 the month before, and now it's 4.2 million. So, and again, you need to multiply by 2, because let me be honest, no one has ever called me and asked for my help if they're behind, and they've been behind 3 months. Everybody who calls me is behind a year or 2 years, okay? And I've been watching these numbers for years, since COVID at least. These numbers have not changed since COVID. I will link the article down below. Y'all can go back and read the article, okay? So I'm telling you, we've been at 4 million, between 4 and 5 million homeowners behind on their mortgage for the last 4 years. And I know for a fact there are homeowners who have not paid their mortgage since COVID. I'm telling you. Not what I think, it's what I see when people call me. And they have not paid since 2020. So, that's all I'm saying. Now, back to the article, because you know I can get off. Approximately, what did I say, 5.17% or 4.26 million homeowner households were behind on their mortgage payments. An estimated 1.2% or 1.01 million homeowners feared foreclosure was imminent in the next 2 months. Again, if 4 million people behind, 4 million need to fear foreclosure is what I would think. But that's just me and my mortgage. You know what I mean? But I'm here to say, you guys, you know, it's a lot of people just not paying. Think about what happened in the last 2 years. COVID, you know, we had that moratorium. We've never had a moratorium like that, right? That lasted 2 years. It's still some people in COVID protection right now. Y'all, I kid you not. They have already started scheduling auctions for January 2025. Y'all, it's August. I kid you not. They have already started scheduling foreclosure auctions for January 2025. I'm assuming that it's a VA loan because veterans have been covered through the end of 2024. So they've already started scheduling for 2025. So heads up on that. You guys, we got to get through this election. But I feel like after we get through this election, y'all, I think we're going to see some banks start crumbling. The cracks are going to reveal themselves. I would absolutely say that. That's why I'm just kind of holding off on buying a house. But I see interest rates have started going down. So if you got to get out there and buy a house, you guys, negotiate. Okay? But for me, I'm going to wait till after this election. That's what I'm going to say. You know, you just stack some money, pay down your credit, get your credit as good as you can possibly get it, and then let us get through this election. Okay?
I have nothing that these people talk about.
That is what's going on. We got a whole bunch. If we were to put these two numbers together, that is 4 million plus 6 million. 10 million people did not pay for housing in June. 10 million. So, I know they're not reporting that on the news. I know they're reporting unicorns and sunflowers and pink starbursts on the news. But the truth is, it's a lot of people who have not paid for shelter. And a lot of these jobs are laying off. I know every time I look at the news, it's layoff after layoff after layoff. So, you know, govern yourselves accordingly. Just wanted to share this quick little article with you that I found, you guys. Look, I try to squeeze as much as I can in these videos because I don't know when my next video is coming out. Look. So, I'm going to squeeze everything I can so I can get the information out to you. I'm going to do better. I will try to do better. So, you guys, I found this article. 7.1 trillion with a TR, dollars in uninsured deposits brewing in U.S. bank accounts as customers risk zero protection from federal government. Y'all, we got some of y'all got y'all's money in these banks that are not insured. $7 trillion of uninsured money. You guys, you know the limit. You got to have $250,000. That's the limit. If you got more than $250,000 in a bank, you need to move it to another bank. Okay? I know everybody who watches me are like millionaires and billionaires. I know. So, $7.1 trillion in uninsured deposits are floating around in these banks. And like I said, you guys, after this election, these banks gonna start crumbling. And if you got more than $250,000 in a bank, look, it might be gone. It says Americans are holding a whopping $7.162 trillion in uninsured cash in their bank accounts, according to an under-the-radar report from the FDIC. The agency says the data, which was captured at the end of March, shows the amount of unprotected cash in U.S. banks. I know all y'all got like millions of dollars. You better put $250,000 in the bank and put the rest in your shoebox under the mattress. I'm trying to tell you. U.S. banks align with the FDIC to promise customers that deposits up to the amount of $250,000 will always be covered in the event of a collapse. Wait till we get past this election.
Promises.
But anything in excess is not insured. The FDIC is increasing its scrutiny on the issue, warning that uninsured deposits may make lenders more susceptible, I can read, to bank runs. And you know, bank runs in 2024 are not like bank runs in 1925. They actually had to physically run to the bank and get their money out. Now a run on the bank is like this: transfer, done. You know what I mean? Times have changed, and banks know that, right? So while many banks have increased their reliance on uninsured deposits, the trend has been most pronounced among the largest banks. The FDIC's $250,000 cap was tested during last year's collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic Bank. Y'all, we all know as soon as everybody heard that the first one, when Silicon Valley collapsed, everybody was like, I was over here like, not my $17. You know, and everybody's like, it's fine, everything's going to be fine. But once a bank starts collapsing, baby, everybody start, hold on. You know, you can't stop that rumble of talking. And people kind of like, well, what's going on in my bank? What's going on? Maybe I need to move some. Maybe I need to put my money under the mattress. My grandmama was right. You know what I mean? So we had 3 banks collapse. It's going to be some more collapsing too, especially with commercial real estate. Look, 10 million people not paying their bills. Look, in a historic first, all deposits at the bank were protected by the federal government with a combination of the FDIC's insurance and an extraordinary use of the systematic risk exception, right? In the wake of the crisis, the FDIC says it's now asking U.S. banks to provide comprehensive data on the composition of both insured and uninsured deposits to improve its ability to track and manage risk. They want these banks to report how much money you got that's not insured, because these people gonna have it's gonna be World War V out here. You know what I mean? If these people lose, that's what I'm saying, you guys. If you got more than $250,000 sitting in one bank, take that on out. Take out your $251,000 plus and put it in another bank, or open up. You know what I mean? You can have multiple bank accounts, right? You can have multiple shoe boxes, whatever you need to do. But you're gonna be real mad if the bank collapses and you lose your money. So I'm trying to warn you. This is my little warning. Warning. If you got more than $250,000 in a bank, anywhere, do something different. Make some moves. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And after this election, you need to do it before the election. You need to do it before the election ends. You know what I'm saying? Before 2025 makes it here, get your coins in order. That's all I'm saying. So, you guys, that is it for this video. Couple articles, housing insecurities. I will be back soon. But of course, when HUD's next article comes out, I'll be back next week with some more videos, because I know the foreclosure numbers come out next week. The foreclosure numbers will be out. We will see who tops the list for REOs, most foreclosure starts, everything. So get ready. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you do. I'm also on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley. On Instagram, you guys, I'm right here on YouTube. I'm usually live on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Central Time, right here. And that is it, you guys. All my links are down below. I know y'all asked me about my letters that I mail to homeowners that are in distress. If you need some examples of what to send, check down below. If you are going to the auction, the best auction course in the country, I made it. Your girl made it. The link is down below. The Auction Accelerator. I teach you how to find properties, analyze them, do a title search, you guys, how to calculate your bid, how to calculate repairs. I got you, you guys. Cash for keys contracts. The Auction Accelerator. It is down below. All links are down below. You guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
All right. Well, that's intense. Oh, here, I'm looking for this guy.
Divine, you tried mercenary work? It might suit you. I can teach you a few things. Sometimes I can teach you a few things.
Yeah. Not doing bows, but I can do a dagger or a sword. All right. All right, so I went ahead and purchased property outside the village here. It's always the village. All right, so there's somebody over there. Who needs to die over there? Who's this? Who needs to die over here? Ah, so supposedly this is somebody.
Move along. This doesn't concern you. Taking this man to be... He has... Now get out of my way. You're interfering with official Thormore business. It's immoral to work. Perhaps there's something you wish to confess? And so you will die heretic.
You know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head for Winterfell.
Anyway, once that woman was killed, I think it's because it highlights random people, and then all of a sudden, if you kill them, you get those whisper points, you know. But yeah, the spirit favor, there it is. So I goaded him into a fight. So now I'm enemies with them, but that's okay. I don't care. Fuck them. That's what they get for pissing me off. So anyway, I'm an American. I don't believe in anybody telling what religion to believe in. Anyway, let's go back to Miss Pickens. Okay, so that was real estate market downturn, evictions and foreclosures on the rise. Today is 8/11/2024. So that's what she's got going on there. And she's out of Memphis. Thumbs up. Really interesting. I mean, they're really trying to throw everybody in the fucking street, man. I swear. Even this last paycheck, I bought a bunch of things I shouldn't have because technically I don't afford them, but I bought them anyway, and I ate out a couple of times, and now I have to pay for it because it's just too expensive to live right now. Okay, so I don't know who this guy is, but he looks familiar for some reason. SeriousDisclosure.com. Who is this guy? He looks familiar. Isn't that Stephen Greer? I think his name is Stephen Greer. Let our channel serve as a never-ending well of knowledge. I think that's Dr. Stephen Greer. That's what he looks like. And the shirt says SeriousDisclosure.com. SeriousDisclosure.com. I don't know. Supposedly the Syrians are reptilians that are behind all the evil on the planet. But that's what I heard. I don't know. Wisdom Apostle today. Well, anyway, it's a 58-minute one. No. Well, I didn't know it was 58 minutes. We'll do this. Here's a guy. This is a different guy. The Conscious Man, okay? Modern men are not okay. Oh, boy. This is 20 minutes, so we'll do this one. Book a discovery call to see if we'd like to be a good fit to work together one-on-one. It's time to take action to become the best of yourself. Create the best self. theconsciousman.as.me.discover. Yeah. Many men have gained the world but lost their soul. That's a scripture. To gain the world and lose your soul. They have a car, the house, the girl, and have lost themselves along the external results of nothing without inner peace and integrity, integration to enjoy them. The outer tappings and achievements. Okay. Well, let's see what the Conscious Man has to say about modern men not okay.
Hey, buddy. So it's been a while since I've started a video when the sun is still up. There's something kind of cathartic about driving as the sun is going down. Hopefully it translates. I notice the focus. I usually set up the shot manually, but whenever the light changes, it kind of messes with the focus. So if my face isn't in focus, just bear with me. I've been really thinking about this whole self-improvement thing, and I really have a heart for humanity. But the reason why I focus so much on men is because no matter how you look at it, in this day and age, men have it pretty rough. And if you are a feminist, liberal woman watching this, I'm sure you will roll your eyes. But something you cannot argue with is the suicide rate. And the fact that that is 80% men. And one difficult part of humanity is some of these people when you hear that statistic, I have talked to women before, and this isn't going to be a men versus women channel. This isn't going to be a men versus women video, but more so, I'm all about uniting humanity. Women should be on men's side. Men should be on women's side. But there are a lot of wounded women out there who, when they hear that statistic, they feel nothing. Or if anything, I have met women before where I've told them the statistic and they kind of grin a little bit even. And I could sit here and judge them and say that they are pure fucking evil.
Yeah.
But I really believe that people are basically good, and any trace of evil that comes to the surface is from deep, deep wounding. And, you know, Jesus quote, "Let whoever is without sin cast the first stone." So I'm in this weird space now where I'm careful not to judge people who blatantly seem like they should be judged. I view their behavior, and I just see them as a wounded person. And all that being said, I care about men. I love men. Not like that. I'm a straight dude. But whenever I see a lot of guys, I can't help but see a wounded little kid at this point. Because I have been that wounded little kid. So, under layers and layers of masculinity, under layers of success and self-improvement, there's a little kid. There's a little boy who didn't get the love that he needed from his parents, who didn't get the love from the people around him growing up. And that stuff, unless consciously looked at, it turns into a shadow. And whenever it's unhealed, it stays with you. You know, it doesn't go away. I think that the future of masculinity is men who are owning their inner world, their internal space. I feel like an extreme example of the opposite would be someone like Andrew Tate. Man, I see a wounded little boy who has built an empire of wealth, of external success. But eventually, if you don't keep that up, if you don't keep up the distraction of adding more and more ego validation, more being better than other people, more being intellectually fluent and able to argue with anyone, you are left with that little boy. A little boy within who just wants to be seen and wants to be loved. And you can learn how to give that love to yourself. And when you do, it becomes like a superpower. Because when you do that inner healing, you're going to be able to look other men in the eye. You're going to be able to stand your ground, be very present, and love them the way they need to be loved. I can't tell you how many times I'm just at the gym working out, and on occasion, you know, a conversation will spark up with one of the other guys in there. Some of these guys are jacked, some of them have tattoos, and we start getting into things, you know? We start talking about these deeper topics because I can't help it. When you develop a level of authenticity and you're coming from a healed place and you just feel like you love humanity because you love yourself, you can't help but dive into deeper topics. It doesn't stay surface level. And so there have been times where I have conversations with guys at the gym, conversation sparks up, and before you know it, we're going deep. You know, I'm asking them questions about their childhood You know, they're telling me about their parents. They can sense when you have this degree of openness, people just start sharing things with you. And it's rare for another guy to hear you say something like, for example, today, I was at the gym, and a gentleman, he was saying, oh yeah, I meant to come to the gym and just kind of do a lighter workout, It's like an older guy. And he was like, man, I'm going to be feeling it, my joints are going to be hurting. And I was like, oh yeah, well, it's good to give 100%, And he was like, yeah, my dad was really hard on me growing up, and so, he beat the hell out of me, we're like laughing and stuff. And I just kind of paused, man. And I saw him through that filter. I saw this guy as just a little boy, and I just looked at him. And I said, I'm sure your father taught you a lot of lessons that you take with you today. But oftentimes, our parents unknowingly inflict these wounds on us, so there might come a time where you need to just go within and face some of those traumas. And he just kind of paused for a second. And then we dove in a little bit deeper, he was telling me some of his past. And this guy starts tearing up in the gym, we're going deep. And I'm just looking him in the eye, I'm just present with him. And the dude can sense this love that I have for him. I don't know all the inner workings of his life, I don't know all the details of his past, but it doesn't matter. Because humanity is one. And when we try to perpetuate a degree of separateness, men versus women, liberal versus Democrat, Christian versus Hinduism, whatever it might be, all of those things just perpetuate separation. It's okay to identify with those things if you want to. You're the creator of your reality. You can do that. But when you start to view other people...
Oh, the game shut down on me. Shit. Oh, I was having fun with that. Well, anyway, this guy is... he's trying to approach it from a spiritual perspective. But even the best esoteric shit doesn't sometimes work very well. Because sometimes you're wounded so deep, all the Holy Spirit in the world doesn't make you feel better. You're wounded so deep, all the prayer and worship and all that stuff, it's still just considered an externalized thing. Let's see. I don't know where I left off here. It just crashed on me. Okay, where am I? Oh crap, where am I? Oh, I'm way back at the house. Damn it. That sucks ass. I gotta go all the way back over there. Damn it. Shit. I can go here and try to go this way. I can go this way. This is the fastest way, though. Let's try it again. Shit. Well, I don't know what happened to Lydia, but she's not here. I think I'll just go straight there instead of getting my ass kicked. So I decided to join the storm cloaks and go from there. So anyway, I'm gonna just see if I can fast track back up there. Let's go back a little bit.
Workings of his life.
The reason you only need to spray this once is it melts bed bugs on contact in seconds. It's
Damn you,
super
bed
easy to
bugs.
use.
I don't know all the details.
Bed bugs are from hell. They come from Satan's ass. That's what they're. Anyway.
Tales of his past, but it doesn't matter. Because humanity is one. And when we try to perpetuate a degree of separateness, men versus women, liberal versus Democrat, Christian versus Hinduism, whatever it might be, all of those things just perpetuate separation. It's okay to identify with those things if you want to. You're the creator of your reality. You can do that. But when you start to view other people as less than, and you start to view them as a hostile other, and man, you're missing the point. You really are. And that's okay. I have been there, man. When I was raised in fundamentalist Christianity, anyone of another religion, anyone of a different lifestyle, there was just this atmosphere of judgment, you know? And I remember, you know, just thinking to myself, like, oh man, I hope these people aren't going to hell. You know, I hope they find Jesus and realize that our particular interpretation of this religion, of asking Jesus into your heart, I hope they agree with us. I hope they mentally agree with us one day, so that way they don't have to go to hell. And that's just a small example, man. It's just like we perpetuate this degree of separateness. But I digress. The suicide rate is 80% men. Most of us have been touched by that.
Okay. He's going through the Lord, and he's assuming that we're all going to come together as one. Okay? That's not true. Religion, by nature, is division. Religion equals division. Whenever you actually have religion, and I have a religious background, and I still make decisions based on that, because that's my spiritual core for now, till I find something better, right? And I achieve that through time. But that religion is designed to do exactly what he said. It divides you, makes you different, and then later on, when they get the prophet of their choice, you know, when there's a new pope, or there's a new super pope, or whatever you want to call it, an antichrist, they'll all come back together, just like he's saying. That programming that we're all the same and all that is bullshit. I fundamentally disagree with that. The stuff about modern men and the statistics and all that, he's showing genuine concern about that, and I never doubt that. Not for a guy. A guy is always concerned when other guys are in trouble. We never like it. We act like we don't, and we keep it to ourselves, but we don't like that situation at all. Okay? Whether you take a religious perspective or not, it is not liked. It is frowned upon. That's why a lot of people don't like jail. They don't like prisons. They don't like what's going on behind those closed doors. And in this case, we're going into suicide and all this. He's basically seeing the destruction of the male species, and he's putting it in religious terms because that's the best he knows how to do. But I get it, and I would do that too. But the thing is, I'm not in the position where I associate very much with other people in general, much less males. I stay away from people for the most part. I'm done with people and shit. I am, for the most part. So, unless they're going to make me money or something, piss off, you know. It's sad. Well, we'll continue this because the game broke, so I restarted it. We'll let them finish.
Statistic on some level, my father committed suicide when I was younger.
Fuck suicide.
And I do bring that up quite a bit on my channel. I do bring that up, but it's not for attention, and it's not for the fact that I haven't healed from it. I have. It's to bring awareness to it, and it's to shine a light on the fact that being a man in this day and age is not easy. A lot of men feel unseen. They've got that little boy within. And it gets perpetuated, you know? It's like feminine energy, especially like the dating market is more difficult than it's ever been. And if you are gaining your self-worth and validation from whether or not women reject or accept you, that's not the metric, dude. That's not the metric that you want to focus on. The metric you want to focus on, here we go, we're going to delve a little bit into spirituality, is the essence of who you are. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what does that mean? I don't know the essence of who I am. When you start to ask yourself deep questions, they might start off surface level. You know, ask yourself, who am I? And you'll be like, well, I'm Ryan. I'm Italian. That's my nationality. I'm this religion. I'm overweight, or I'm jacked, or I'm whatever it might be. I'm uneducated. I have a PhD. And you keep going deeper. You're like, okay, but like, then who is that? Who am I beneath the surface of all these outer trappings? And eventually you go so deep to the point to where you're just like, I am. I am awareness. I am the
aware.
consciousness that animates this being.
I'm the consciousness.
And it can't really be quantified.
The consciousness of my being,
And when you
including my
touch
dick.
the essence of that, you might get a feeling of bliss. And that feeling of bliss might only last for 10 seconds. And you'll snap out of it, and you'll be like, what the actual fuck was that? And this is how it starts, man. This is how the spiritual path starts.
Yeah. You get that at the altar.
There's this fear of, if you become this spiritual person who's in touch with the divine, that you're going to lose your ambition. You're going to lose your desire to reach external goals. But really, man, the opposite is true. You start to have an added quality to these outer layers of life. But you're not just so attached to outcomes anymore. You become more interested in the doing itself, in the creative process. You become more interested in the flow state of creating, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's a piece of music, whether it's your business, a YouTube video. I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm just in the present. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about you. And I'm thinking about how in this video I can give you 10 minutes of alleviation, 10 minutes of relief from your own psychological perpetual suffering. Because, dude, all suffering is, let's define suffering for a minute. Pain is whenever you injure yourself. Okay, say you get a cut and you're like, ow, that hurts. Suffering is perpetuating that. It's, oh man, I hope this heals. Is this ever gonna heal? Could it get infected? Is it normal for it to feel this way? That's suffering. The mind going in that circular motion of perpetuating what really doesn't need to be perpetuated. That's what the mind does. And you can learn how to make your mind your servant and not your master. That's really the whole goal of spirituality. And the thing is, dude, self-improvement is cool. But I'm telling you right now, you can be like an Andrew Tate. You can gain the whole world and realize that the moment you stop adding to the layers of achievement, you're left with that empty feeling. You can get to that point. Or maybe you'll be like me and you'll gain aspects of success. You'll date beautiful women. You'll get into the best shape of your life. You'll gain some monetary success where you're not worrying about money all the time. And you might sort of snap out of the achievement identity of, all right, well, let's just keep adding more and more and more so that way I can keep the suffering at bay. You can get to a point where you're like, you know what? I see through this. Let me tap into the true essence of who I am right now. So that way I can enjoy the process of everything. And whether I achieve or I don't achieve, I'm still at peace. And the quality of work that you do, man, will be that much better. It'll be from a place of enjoyment and presence and love. All that being said, this is the future of real masculinity. It's going deep, deep, deep within yourself. Knowing who you are on a meta cosmic level. And your level of presence when you interact with other people will be incredible. It will be healing for other people. It will alleviate suffering. It will cause time, psychological and linear time, to stand still.
Okay, that's it. I can't handle it. It's too. I can't handle it. It's too much. It's too much. He's trying to put like a. It's like he's trying to put a religious slash new agey kind of everything's gonna be okay vibe on something that's gonna be preceded by half the planet dying. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, don't worry, it's just a body. Don't worry, it's just suffering, it's just pain. It'll be okay. You'll get past it. We. I don't like that. I mean, he's trying to be the good guy. He wants to be the spiritual man. But sometimes the spiritual man has to be the realist. And in reality, the only reason you don't go there is because you know you can't affect it. If you could affect something, you'd go there and you'd be able to make a change. And they can't make that change. They're not in a position to change anything. You see what I'm saying? Like Jay Essex's level, it's going to happen whether we like it or not. Jay Essex is not going to be told what to do. He's going to put the hammer down. If they don't like it, they can get squashed. Period. This whole place is based on suffering and abuse and neglect and irresponsible demon people running around doing stupid shit. Men suicide because there are some spirits out there that whisper in your ear, you're nothing, you're nobody, you're never going to accomplish anything. You don't accomplish something until you overcome those spirits, until you overcome those temptations, those situations, etc. He wants you to find your inner peace. Well, you have to choose to be happy. You have to choose to find your inner peace. These are choices. Some people, it's like Brother Russell. Brother Russell had this hand puppet. It was a funky looking hand puppet. Took the whole arm. And he was petting the hand puppet. He was petting his own hand, basically going, I love my problems. I love my problems. I want my problems. You see what I'm saying? Some people are like that. They love their suffering. They love their problems. And those are psychological issues. There's psychological issues, spiritual issues, and other things. There are things out there in the world, you attach to them, you're fucked. They take you down with them. You attach to them. Like all this negativity that got a hold of me, it was a seducing spirit that got in my soul, got in my essence, and fucked me over big time. Somebody sent it and cursed me with it, and it wasn't God. If God had sent that seducing spirit to me with the intention of destroying me, ladies and gentlemen, I would be up the creek in jail. Not jail, I would be in prison for, 11 years? I mean, I'd be gone. All my assets would be gone. My mom would be dead. Everything would be gone. My sister would be all by herself. As it is, she acts like she's by herself. So, it would be 10 times worse. So that spirit came as a result of spiritual warfare. Feel-good people like this kind of make me sick a bit because they act like spiritual war is not been declared. They act like this isn't a war. It's an experience. And yes, it's an experience, and you do have to overcome. So that part is true, but the other part is like, it's your ass on the line, right? These people, they don't play fair and they don't play nice. They play for keeps. It's dog eat dog down here in the mush. People with real spiritual power, they might be able to have that level of arrogance. And I think that's a little arrogant the way he's talking. But, when you have position, you have title and things like that, and you acknowledge your identity, you can get a little arrogant. But the thing is, practically speaking, the good advice is the psychological side that helps you break away from those spirits and those negativities. The bad part of the advice is everything's going to be okay and all this. Some people spent their whole life worshiping the Lord. And they just die horribly, accomplishing nothing. You know? And it wasn't because they were bad people. This world is a fucking vampire, like the song says. The world is a vampire. Da, na, 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 da, da. I think it was from Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, it'll drain you dry. So anyway, how much does he have left here? Oh my God, 4 minutes of hell. Okay, 4 minutes of Mr. Goody Two Shoes, who in a way I'm envious of because he has an actual head of hair and a cool beard. Lucky guy. So wrong, so wrong.
For a little while, for the people that you interact with, especially people whose hearts are open. There are people out there who their hearts are very closed, and a lot of men struggle with this. Part of going within is learning how to tap into the feminine energy inside of you, because that's where a lot of the healing comes in. And then you'll know what true masculinity is. The ability to lead yourself, the ability to lead others, to be like a mountain for the chaotic minds of the world around you. Whether it's strangers, whether it's your girlfriend, your spouse, your children, you can be that guy. And then masculinity takes on a whole new definition. If you think about it, little kids, when they look up at their mother and father, the father is like their idea of the masculinity of God, the divine masculine. Powerful, like a mountain, grounded, loving. There's a warmth to it, assuming the father is healthy and healed. And then they look to their mother as the divine feminine, nurturing, patient, calm, giving, present. You have both of these elements within you. Front-facing, I am a masculine man on the external. And everybody's different. Some people might be a little more feminine than masculine. That's okay. When you go within, you get to know yourself, you're going to be able to find what that balance is for you. I used to be a lot more feminine. On the external, the femininity would come through as unhealed insecurity. I was constantly trying to get the approval of other people. I was placating and supplicating to women. But man, once I found that inner peace, the level of grounded masculinity that started to exude from me was coming from an authentic, healed place. This is the kind of work that's going to take that 80% suicide rate of men and bring it down. It's not going to be achievement. It's not going to be gaining more money or gaining more women or gaining more status. That's a temporary fix to a deeper issue. That's why celebrities and successful people, men, take their own lives all the time. I've said a lot of things tonight. I clearly didn't have a script or a topic. I just felt in my heart that I wanted to speak to you. And so if this video allowed you to be at peace for the 15 or 20 minutes that it's gone on, then mission accomplished. If you want to speak to me directly, consider joining the Conscious Men community. We have a couple Zoom calls a week and we talk about all kinds of things. All topics are on the table. So if you want a community of guys where we're doing this kind of inner work, click the link in the description, check that out. If you're interested in plant medicine, it is illegal in most places. There are retreat centers in other countries. I'm going to put a link in the description for a place that I believe in. It is an affiliate link. I know the owner, and the work that they're doing is incredible. They're doing these guided plant medicine ceremonies, and it's helping people do a lot of deep healing. So check that out. That's something that you feel called to. That's all I got for you tonight. You are loved, you matter, and you've barely scratched the surface of what you're capable of. I'll talk to you soon.
Well, at least he's trying to be positive, but he's mixing a lot of elements. He's mixing a lot of elements, and he's mixing everything together. That's like the one world religion there. That's if I were to conceptualize something that was a one world religion, it's this guy's tone. And what they taught us a long time ago is that the Antichrist is supposed to have a one world religion, a one world government, and what was it? A one world finance, I believe, or something like that. And he's supposed to rule through this. So, because he sounds Christian, because he sounds very psychological, because he sounds very new agey, and he's blended it all together very well, very, very well. I'll give him that, Mr. Cool Hair. Basically, that's what he sounds like to me. I mean, I know these people, all of them, even the people who are agents, they have a part of them that means well, but anybody can be used. Even I could be used for the dark side if I don't watch it. And even then, I still get used. Sometimes I just don't know it, you know. Assume the position, you know. Anyway, that was Modern Men Are Not Okay, The Conscious Man. All right, I'll still thumbs up because I always appreciate the effort. All right, so we're at about an hour and 10 minutes, I think, if I'm reading it correctly. So I'm going to stop it here, and then we're going to see what... I don't know if I want this. Infinite source of life-changing wisdom, a small group of individuals passion sharing. I don't know. Looks like this is multiple speakers, and this looks like Dr. Stephen Greer. From what I understand, this is all agenda. I'm not sure I want to do that. No agenda. Just individuals bitching. I thought he was an individual that was going to be bitching. Wrong. Wrong. Agenda. Dun, 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 dun. My coworker got me fired. See, that's more along my lines. The individual bitching, right? That's how you learn. You listen to them bitch, and now you know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to stop the video here because it's already too long, and then I'll pick a couple of more things, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Thank you for watching.